Hey, football extremists, welcome to another transfer update with me, Quabs, and Nene. So we're gonna bring you our final update, and that is gonna be Tottenham Hotspurs and all the deadline day drama that's happening there. Because we've got players wanting to leave, we've got players wanting to come in, but nothing seems to be happening anywhere with anybody at Tottenham Hotspurs. Nene, what do you have for us?
Tottenham Hotspurs will kick off with Danny Rose. I don't know if people can even remember Danny Rose, but he was a left back at Tottenham. He's been out of favor with Jose Mourinho ever since Jose arrived. He doesn't fancy the player. And this past season, this current season, Danny Rose was left out of the Europa League squad, and left out of the Premier League squad. So basically, he's been in a similar situation like Socrates at Arsenal and Mesut Ozil at Arsenal, but probably not as high profile as Mesut Ozil, where he was in the limelight. But he was also in a similar position where he was just playing for the under-23s and training with the team, but not featuring for the first team at all. So yeah, he looks set to be joining a club called Trabzonspor.
Trabzonspor.
Yeah, if I said it right.
Yeah, Trabzonspor.
Trabzonspor. Yeah,
Yes,
that's a Turkish club.
Yeah.
Rumored to be a 3.5-year deal. He's 30 years old. So I think that might be a good move for him if he were to be successful. So yeah, that's from Danny Rose. And yeah, what have you heard about Dele Alli?
Now, the Danny Rose issue, again, like as you're saying, you're wondering if people have forgotten who he is. What's quickly happening to Dele Alli is that people are about to forget who he is, because I don't understand why he's not playing. There is so much potential in that midfield of Tottenham Hotspur. But Dele Alli has been sitting on the bench, not even getting much game time. Has probably played about 4 or 5 games this season. A guy who was at the Euros lost, and he was at the World Cup. Now he's not getting game time. He's been trying to secure a move out, a loan away from Spurs. And basically, Tottenham Hotspur are saying, no dice, Dele Alli, sit here and earn your place in the team. You are not going anywhere. We need you even though we're not playing you. So, I don't know. Dele Alli, like we spoke about him in our previous episode, about my point of view was, dude, just pick up your socks, train harder. You used to be in the starting lineup. You were playing for England not so long ago. You still have it. So just pick up your socks and play. And then the coach will see what your previous coach saw. Oh, yes, he was trying to secure a move to PSG, where the Spurs' old coach is. And that doesn't seem to be happening at all. So Dele Alli, in my opinion, is pick up your socks and play, but nothing in life is easy.
Yeah.
Nothing worth fighting for is easy. Pick up your socks and play. And your coach is going to see your value in the team. Or probably the coach already knows what's probably missing from the game, which is why you're not playing in the first place. But yeah, that's what I've heard about Dele Alli. What's your take on the Dele Alli issue?
I think he needs to move to PSG. I said it in a few streams that we've done, that he needs to move to PSG, where there's world-class players in the team that might help him up his game a bit more. He's a midfield player, and he scored over 120 goals for Spurs in his Spurs career, which is amazing for a midfield player, and also looking at his age.
Yeah.
So he still has a lot to offer, and the way I see it, it's the same thing as Mesut Ozil. You cannot tell me that the other players in that midfield are better than him. That's impossible.
Yeah.
So clearly there's much more to it than meets the eye. and Jose Mourinho doesn't fancy the player, just like he didn't fancy Danny Rose. And obviously, the owner of the club or the chairman, he probably likes Dele Alli, and he's probably trying to convince him to stay. But from what I've heard, Jose Mourinho is into the idea of this guy leaving and trying to find game time elsewhere. So yeah, for his sake, he should leave, and then he could possibly come back at the end of the season. Alternatively, if he stays, then they need to guarantee him that he's going to play.
Nah, that's not going to happen. Nobody gets guarantees. No player gets guarantees. And anyone who asks for guarantees obviously already has a problem. That means he thinks he's not good enough, and he probably has something that needs shedding light on. So, I mean, okay, you might say that he might want to leave and that kind of thing. It's deadline day. If they wanted to get rid of him, they would have tried. And I've always said, like, the same with the Ozil issue. There's no way a guy of his quality can sit on the bench for 3 seasons without there being a problem. There is a problem with Dele Alli somewhere, whether it be discipline or maybe just the way his attitude in training or something. But there is a problem somewhere between the day Mourinho arrived at Spurs and now, where Dele Alli is not seeing game time, where he was seeing plenty game time with the previous coach, scoring goals, playing, and just being an integral part of the team. There is something wrong because the player group hasn't changed much. And since Mourinho arrived, there's been what, 2 new players? Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, but for me, just before we close off this thing on Dele Alli, if he is what you're saying he is, that he might be problematic, etc., then surely he should have been on the transfer list, or he should have been loaned out. It should have been something that happened rather than just leaving him on the team. If you look at Chelsea, how they operate, if there is a player that's doing something like that, immediately the player gets sold, or it's transferred out, loaned out, etc. But Arsenal, they just the reason why there's this attention always builds up is because they don't get rid of the player. So if Dele Alli has attitude problems, Spurs should have got rid of him, loaned him out, or sold him, or terminated his contract, or something that shows an intention to say, we don't need your services. Chelsea did it with Diego Costa, where it was nice and simple, dude. Adios, you can go back to Atletico Madrid, and all parties were happy. They didn't let it drag on for months and months. We all saw it when it started happening. It happened for 6 months and he was out. And Dele Alli, it's been a long time. Mesut Ozil, it's been a long time. And I just believe that these clubs, they just drag these situations on long enough until basically everybody gets fed up. Whereas it's something that they could have solved, back then. Dele Alli should have gone in the summer, which was June, and then it would have been case closed. But now it's another window. It's about to come to an end, and we're still having the same conversation we had in June when the summer when window was going to close, and then we're going to have the same conversation again this coming June, to decide what happened. So honestly, these guys and these teams, they need to start getting their act together, similar to the bigger teams like your Chelsea's, your Man City, where they just ship you out.
Look, maybe it's not even a discipline issue or an issue in the locker room. Maybe he's just not as good as he thinks he is. Maybe on the training there, Jose Mourinho stands there and he sees that, you know what, Steve Bergwijn runs faster than Dele Alli. You know what, Ndombele tackles more than Dele Alli. You know what, even Gareth Bale, because Gareth Bale is getting 5 minutes from Jose Mourinho and Dele Alli isn't. Gareth Bale came to
Yeah.
Spurs unfit and hadn't played a lick of football at Real Madrid. And then he comes in, he's played way more than Dele Alli has played. And he came to England unfit at the beginning of the season. And they're still saying he's unfit. And yet he's playing 10, 15 minutes. He's playing in the cup games. Where's Dele Alli? So maybe he's just not putting, maybe it's not a discipline issue. Maybe it's just that he's not as good as he thinks he is. And maybe the other guys are just training harder on the field, on training days.
Then, as soon as the transfer windows open,
Yeah.
get rid of him.
Yeah, Pella, if other guys are playing better than him, it doesn't mean that he must sell him. It just means that in the picking order, you are fit on the midfielders list. We need 5 midfielders, you're number 5. It just doesn't mean that I'm not happy with what you're doing. It's just that I mean the other 4 in front of you, and I need 5 to have a healthy team. So you lost on my list, and you're going to play when the other 4 are tired. And maybe, like I said, that's why I say pick up your socks, get to work, and get there on time, train harder than others, make yourself visible to the coach, and then you're going to play. That's what I think. That's how I see Dele Alli is. Yeah, hopefully. Or maybe even when if another coach comes in, then the other coach sees other things, and then he has his different team. But yeah, that's Dele Alli. But the last player linked with Spurs, and another move that doesn't look like it's happening, Christian Eriksen, a guy who left 6 months ago, and now it looks like he wanted to come back. But Inter Milan is saying, no, boy, you are staying here. Stay put in Italy. You wanted this move. You wanted to come to Italy. And now 6 months later, you want to leave again. No, doesn't happen like that. What have you heard about Christian Eriksen?
Yeah, look, this one has been going on for quite some time. It didn't work out for him at Inter. Tottenham seems like the only team that might be willing to take him back. But for me, I don't see this deal happening. It's not one of those deals that would materialize. It's just a nice deal to create some hype so that maybe other teams in Italy or Spain might, raise an eyebrow and put in an offer. But I don't foresee him coming back to Spurs. I don't see what he can offer. He wasn't playing most of the time, and then you're gonna come into the Premier League where you're playing 2 to 3 games in 7 days. What is he going to be there just to do what Gareth Bale does, just to be a squad player, or is he going to be going into the Spurs squad to play week in, week out, to compete with the guys that are there? Me personally, I don't believe that that deal will materialize at all. It will be one of the shocks of this transfer if it does.
If it does, especially now with a few hours left of the transfer window. Yeah, I'm also a similar vein of thinking that this deal, I don't think it will happen. And again, I mean, you wanted to leave. We gave you your wish.
Yes.
And then a few months later, you regret your decision. Hey, brah, this is not the Bible times of the prodigal son where we're just going to welcome you back with open arms, brah. Drink your medicine, stay there, and fight for your place. Because Inter Milan is saying, we need you, stay put. Your position is on the bench, so stay there. So it's a bit of the same as with Dele Alli, in that just fight for your place, bro. There's plenty other players in the squad.
And also,
carry on.
And also the other thing with Christian Eriksen, the last few months of him playing for Spurs, he wasn't really producing because his head wasn't, focused on Spurs.
Yeah.
So the last few months of his Spurs career, they were not really the best. So that's also another reason why, for me, he's not the right guy. I mean, he didn't give his 100% because he wanted that move to Inter to happen, and you could see his mind wasn't into Tottenham anymore.
Yeah.
So when players, I mean, if you look at Cristiano Ronaldo a few years ago, when he was about to move to Madrid, and then And then Ferguson asked him for one more season, and he agreed. That one season, that was his best season at United.
Yeah.
And then he helped them win the league. He was still, giving his all, week in, week out, even though
Yeah.
he knew that at the end of the season he was leaving. So that's the type of players that, if Cristiano were to want to come back to Man United, they'll take him back,
Yeah.
hopefully, because of that. Where if a player wants to leave, he just tells you I want to leave, but it doesn't let it affect his game on the pitch.
Yes.
So for me, Christian Eriksen, nah, I felt he burnt his bridges. So nah, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. So we can't give, or they can't actually set a precedent like that where you say a guy who, as you say, burns his bridges with the team can just walk back into the team, especially when one of his teammates that he left behind is sitting on the bench. So what would it look like where there's the one guy here sitting on the bench and then you bring in the guy who comes in who's playing a similar game to this guy, attacking midfield. He's just going to walk into the starting 11 where there's a guy with that quality sitting on the bench. So yeah, Eriksen stay at Inter Milan. They want you. You're pressing for the league title there. You want to go from a team that's sitting in second in Serie A to a team sitting in sixth or seventh in the Premier League. So where's the wisdom in that? So yeah. That's it there on Spurs' front. And other breaking news is that we spoke about Joe Willock in the Arsenal video. See the links at the bottom of this video below to the other transfer update videos, fans. But we spoke about Joe Willock, and we're just seeing the news now that the Joe Willock move to Newcastle has been finalized, as well as the Ben Davies move to Liverpool has also been finalized now. So we did do other conversations on Arsenal and Liverpool. So you'll see the descriptions in the video below. And stay tuned for more Football Extreme, viewers. So that's the end of our Tottenham Hotspurs transfer update. And just stay tuned for more content from us. Then say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, thanks guys for tuning in. Lots of stuff going on. We'll try to keep you guys as informed and updated with everything that's going on. So yeah, stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. And that's all from us. And we'll see you on the next video. Stay tuned, catch all our latest updates, and just subscribe to our videos and like our videos as well. And drop those comments. We'd like to hear from you guys, and just to hear your thoughts on the things that are making the football world go round, and also just what you like and not like about our show. So yes, goodbye everybody. Stay tuned for more Football Extreme.
Cheers.